One. I know.
Mom.
Come say hi. Hey, Miss.
Hi, Mrs. Floyd.
Hi. Hi, sweet girl. How are you?
Good. Just got back from ballet not long ago.
Very nice.
Hi, Abby. Hi, Abby. I wish you well.
I wish you well too.
Aw.
She's so excited she can barely talk.
Fall to the ground.
You better talk normal for a minute because I got all these other people in here waiting for us to get started. We're going to give everybody just a few minutes to come in. We still got people wanting to join. Real quick, did everybody get the email with the agenda? You did? Okay. Okay. I sent one out earlier and I know some people said they did not get it. So. Need to pull that agenda up. For some reason.
And hi, Miss Floyd. We miss you.
Hi, I miss you too. I'm ready to be back.
I bet you are.
And I think Miss Cronin probably is as well.
She's rocking it. I mean, rocking it.
Before my ballet, I go to school. That's what I always do.
Yeah.
My teacher for second grade is named Miss Jackson.
Yep, we have. She goes to 2 different classes every day. They split them up and they go next door for certain subjects. And
Oh, brother. That's my brother.
okay, say hi real quick and then I can just go home.
Hi. Hi to Miss Osborne. Hello, Miss Osborne. That's my brother, Jane. Yeah, number 4. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Shane.
And then my other question is for everybody. There's an option on Member Hub for we can text messages. Did you guys anybody get a text with the Zoom link? Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, that works
Well,
out
and
really good.
I sent one out like at 6:20 from obviously not Member Hub. So I don't know if that was the same or a different one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, this one has a specific, like if you sign up and if your phone number's on file, then I guess it'll send an actual text message, whatever we have. So that's kind of cool. We'll say bye real quick. So we gotta get started. Maybe we can set up a. She is super excited.
And I saw the stand.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll give it about another. Oh, keep on. They're still coming in. Everybody doing okay? Good. I want Brittany or actually Lindsay, let me make you a co-host as well. If we can put the link to Member Hub for people to sign up that aren't signed up in the chat, that would be fantastic. And then anyone who hasn't signed up yet, you can do it once the call's over. You can copy the link. It'll take you to Member Hub. Make sure to put your email address and your phone number in there so that you can get the messages that I'm going to send. And they're not going to be a million messages. I'll send maybe one a month, just reminder for PTA, or unless there's something special or something we need to get out there. Well, we do have a full house today, so I do apologize for my background noise, and we're actually in a smaller house, so it makes it more interesting. Okay, the member hub link is up. We will do, give another minute or two for some last minute folks to come in.
Gary, should we also register our students and ourselves?
Lindsay, this is a great debate that Bree and I had not long ago. So what is the situation there? So like for myself, because we're now somewhere else, I've registered just as a community person, if you will.
It's not a debate. If you want your student as part of the PTA, then you pay for them. It's $3.50 for a student, $3.50 for a teacher, and then $5 for everybody else to cover the state and national fees. So everybody that's going to be a part of any sort of PTA activity should be paying the fees, and anybody that wants to is encouraged to pay the fees. So Brittany, if you want to have your student listed as one of the PTA members, then yes, it would be $3.50 for your student.
And I don't think we have anybody else in the waiting room, so we can go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody to our first general PTA meeting for the 2021-22 school year. Irby Elementary. My name is Gary Coher. I'm your PTA president this year. Quick introduction of our other board members, Lindsay and Brittany, if you want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I have two little ones at Irby, and this will be my second year on the Irby PTA board.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Harris, and I'm the PTA treasurer, and this is my second year on the board too.
Awesome. And is Lauren in here? I didn't see. She was going to be our secretary, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I have this recording, so we'll, like we said, we'll get the notes from there. All right, so real quick, just want to introduce for any parents that we have, if for some reason you have not met her, but our wonderful principal, Ms. Floyd. Brittany, can you mute everybody? Ms. Floyd, do you have anything that you want to?
Sorry, it was hard to hear you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to see you guys, even if it is virtually. Hi, Anchor. I did just want to say, the year is off to an incredible start. Our enrollment is up about 25 students. And as you guys know, there is no digital academy at this time. So it's all brick and mortar learning. I did just want to share, we have some new folks joining our Irby family, our teachers and staff. So we have Miss Real, and I think she's actually in here. She is teaching kindergarten for us and comes to us from Duval Early Learning Academy. So we're so happy to have her. I don't know if you want to say hi, Miss Real. She's green. There we go. Hey.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry for my mess. I'm Lindsay Real.
Sorry to put you on the spot. I just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce you. And then I'm not sure. Oh, she isn't here. So Miss Romp has been with us for the past 2 years, but she is also teaching kindergarten this year. So she's taking on a new role, transitioning in from one of our Title I teachers. You want to say hello, Miss Romp?
Of course, you catch me right in the middle of making dinner.
Sorry. You
Hi,
could've just-
everyone. It's super excited. I've loved my time at Irby and it's only getting better. So
And then we have joining our first grade team, Miss Kelly Fisher. And she comes to us from out of state. So we were happy to bring her on as a member of our first grade team. And I don't know, Miss Fisher, if you want to say hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of Irby, and I've really been enjoying my time here at the school.
Awesome. And then we have Miss Hannah Kay. The students call her Miss Kay. I didn't see her pop in here yet, but she is joining our second grade team. And then Miss Hunter is with us again. I'm so grateful for her. Miss Hunter is teaching pre-K as a long-term sub. She had previously supported with our art position, and I think I saw her pop in here. So she is in Mr. Reed's classroom right now until he returns. So I'm grateful for her and being able to continue having her be with us on campus. And as always, thank you guys. Thank you, parents, teachers. I know you've been like teaching all day and now you're here. I'm putting you on the spot while you're like cooking dinner, but I'm so grateful for each and every one of you all and parents for trusting us with your most prized possession. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Real quick, for anybody who is in the meeting, like if your name isn't your full name, if it says like, I'm just gonna use an example because it's an A's. I got 2 Ashley's iPhones. If you can type your name in there just so we can get everybody's name who's participating today, I would really appreciate it. All right, moving on. So let's talk real quick about our options for fundraising this year, given
Only practice for it. No, that's not where we got it from. We traded for it.
given current restrictions on volunteers. Just to kind of let everybody know, Ms. Floyd, will you tell us what our current, what we can and cannot do at this moment?
At this moment, and I think there's also a board meeting going on right now, and then there was a meeting earlier that I was listening to that had to do with the State Board of Education. So what I'm sharing with you is current at 6:45 p.m. on Tuesday. So I sent out communication to all of the families, and the district also sent out very similar communication, essentially saying that district-wide a decision had been made to limit visitors and volunteers on campus. And so of course, if there's a meeting, an IEP meeting, a 504, a parent conference, you know, those are opportunities to collaborate, and we can do that in person, safely, socially distancing, or virtually or via phone. But you know, my plan this year was to open up, having parents come back and eat lunch on campus. If you read the beginning of the year information that went out. And so right now that's going to be on hold. So anything that's non-essential, and the reality of it is that we're going to deal with that on a case-by-case basis, because, you know, I tell my teachers and staff at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for children. And so there's a lot of factors that could impact a need for someone to come in on campus. And of course, if someone is registering or it's something that has to happen in person for signatures or something like that, they can, you know, you can come on campus. But for the most part, if you're coming in to meet with your child's teacher or a therapist, we just want to make sure that we have those scheduled in advance so that we can ensure we have an appropriate meeting space to follow CDC guidelines. That's where we are right now.
All right, awesome. So typically we would be doing our we'd be planning on fun run is usually fall. So last year we did away with that, but did the dance fit challenge. So I'm gonna assume we're gonna kind of be in that situation again, maybe push the fun run off to a later date and or scrap it all together and do the dance fit again.
So we are looking at opportunities for fundraising through the lens of limiting large group gatherings. And hot off the press, I haven't sent this out yet because I just received this information just before the meeting started. But I think Monday I sent information out saying open house, one parent coming. Now open house is 100% online. The teachers are like looking at me like, what? So there will be no in-person option as of 6:47 on Tuesday for in-person open house. It will all be done virtually. And again, I believe the decision was made, I'm just inferring, but to limit the gathering of large groups. And I think even with just one parent coming on campus, there was a lot of concern for that. So I'm not closed off, obviously, to the idea of fundraising. We just have to continue to work in a creative way such that we're able to still work within those guidelines that are set forth by our local school board and our state.
Okay, so we'll really just kind of go down the road that we did last year, I'm gonna assume. So I would say probably the first one we're gonna do would probably be our Christmas store. Which we were able to do without, with limited, with a lot of teacher help. Thank you, teachers. So we'll get some more information about that, but that's kind of some of the things that I wanted to kind of dive into, for this coming up year. It's going to be hard. We're never going to know exactly what's going to happen. It loosened up a little bit at the end of last year. We were able to do a little bit more, and probably the same for this year. So if anybody is here that is not a PTA member, or this is your kids in kindergarten, this is your first time. Really, yes, we do fundraising, but we try to advocate for the children. We try to raise money for different things for the school. And the biggest example that I can give, just in the year that I've been, over the summer, we were able to cut a $10,000 check to the school for some flexible. So it's little things like that we want to do to help the school, which is not only going to help your children now, but will also benefit incoming children in the future. So as far as your participation in PTA, it can be from here to here. You can join, pay your $3 or $5, and know you made a donation to help us out. Cool, awesome. You can volunteer a little bit, you can volunteer a lot. We're not going to have a ton of opportunities this year for volunteer work, but things like the Christmas store, and if we can get a few people to help out with yearbooks, yearbook committee would be perfect, especially if you own a business or know a lot of business owners that could help help us raise some money through there. So those are things we're gonna that we'll get into down the line, but something I want everybody to kind of think about now, so that way we can start forming committees. Okay. So now we do, Lindsay, we're board wise, we're good to go, right? Or do we need some more people?
I mean, we always need more people, especially we talked about the different chair positions that were emailed out in the interest form. We can resend that out now that school has begun. As long as Lauren is still committed for the secretary spot, I think everything is currently filled on the executive board, but again, chair positions are open.
Okay. And we'll send all that information out. So as far as fundraising ideas, we're gonna just kind of go, one at a time. There are things that we can do, like the cookie dough sales and stuff like that. So we can get some more information. We'll email that information out. School store, we're gonna need to, since we're probably not gonna be, we're not gonna be able to get in for the school store, right? Ms. Floyd?
I think in the sense, the way that it's been done traditionally, where the students would come into building one and then, shop from there, I'm thinking that is a definite no. However, I could see something similar to like meet the teacher, where you're set up out front, maybe like one day a week. We could use markers for social distancing. And so it could be like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or just Wednesday mornings until 7:40, and have some items out there from the school store. I would be much more comfortable with that.
Okay.
I feel like we could control social distancing, and it would be outside. So I would be open to that.
Okay. Okay, so then there's gonna be a few days a week I'm gonna be in town, so I'll, I know a lot of people obviously are gonna be working. So I can easily help out with that.
Mhm.
Store. Lindsay, can we get those items on Member Hub? Like, is it not you in general, but is it possible to sell through? It is, you can sell through Member Hub, right? Like we did the Square?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe this week, if I can get in and maybe take some pictures or something, then we can get all that up, and we can do online sales, and maybe designate somebody at the school that can go into the PTA room and grab whatever items, and then just send them to the teacher to disperse. So that way we can at least do that. Eventually, and I know we talked about this as a board, but eventually we are gonna need new t-shirts. We are running low on certain sizes, and we have two different, things going on. So I'd like to get a couple people together to talk about, designing a new shirt, maybe get the students involved, kind of like we did with the yearbook last year. I think that'd be kind of cool. Give them something to, kind of work on. Who's our art teacher this year?
That is to be hired.
Okay.
Miss Belgrade began the year with us, and she'll be returning after this year, but we are in the process of posting and interviewing for that position for this year.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, for me, that's kind of all I have with this first meeting. Typically, we get, a lot of people in here like we do tonight. So I would like to give parents a moment that if they had questions that, we can answer as a PTA, or if they have questions for Ms. Floyd or any of the teachers. So parents, if you'll just do the raise your hand thing, Brittany will unmute you, and then we can, yeah, thank you, Brittany. So if any parents have any questions, now is your time.
And you can actually unmute yourself, I believe.
Okay.
Or any teachers, because I know I see a lot of teachers too.
Yeah, we were gonna do that next. So let's just do parents for now, for the moment, but it looks like we don't have any.
No, hold on. So I actually have one item that we need to vote on since we have a quorum. So I have a proposed budget. I left it very simple because we don't know what the year is gonna be like this year. Let me share my screen so everybody can see it.
And while she's doing that, if you just joined us and your full name isn't on the participation list, will you put a message in chat with your full name so I can get that?
What did it just do? Hold on. One second. Shoot.
Gary, while she's doing that, do you want to, since there's some new teachers, let the teachers know about the application if there's something for purchasing for the school or for their classroom or that sort of thing? Are we putting that in the budget?
Yes.
Teacher requests, that's the words I'm looking for.
Yes, you can go ahead and tell them about that.
Okay, thanks, Gary.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So we have in the PTA budget teacher requests. If that's something, if there's a teacher who wants something for their classroom that will benefit their classroom and students for years to come, then you can go ahead and submit that request to the board and we will all look at it. And we didn't really have very many, if at all, teacher requests this year. And that's partly why we were able to do the flexible seating for each of the classrooms. So I hope you guys are enjoying your flexible seating. And we really do hope to be able to do that again this year. So anything else to add to that, Gary or Lindsay? No? Okay.
No, thank you.
I believe we have another project kind of coming down the pipeline that we'll talk about as a board as well for teachers. I don't know how far we've gotten into that, but I have some other stuff coming in as well. All right, Lindsay.
So on your screen is the proposed budget. Everybody can look through it. I left it pretty wide open for review. It's pretty basic. If everybody's good with it, we can vote yes or no. Why we have a quorum and we're good to go.
Lindsay, do we need to add estimated income or no?
For just the beginning, no, we're fine.
Okay.
We can rework it mid-year and put like expenses and everything.
I just want to add, in looking at the budget specifically for this year, I don't see field trip assistance being utilized, at least in the capacity for which it's being budgeted. Just because right now, second grade is scheduled to attend Camp Crystal in January for the annual trip that all second graders do. I don't know what's going to happen between now and January. I would imagine that the guidelines that were originally provided to school principals about field trips is likely going to be revised depending on the number of cases. So it's a lot, but who knows what the spring may have in store. The other thing that I know, one of our favorite topics to discuss involves the radios on our wonderful on our wonderful campus. And I was trying to do some additional research and background information, and I went back to and was talking with the PTA president before Jessica, so like two before Gary, and I'm trying to put my fingers on the meeting minutes when these radios came to life, because the reality of it is that they have repair and maintenance and upkeep just as any other investment does. And so I think I was talking with Miss Basin, and she's in here, she can chime in if you want, about when those were initially discussed and what was said in terms of upkeep and when things break and things like that. And so I know, like at the end of last year, we talked about radios. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And so I don't know if any of the teachers wanted to contribute, But it is an expense, and it's not that anyone is like intentionally causing damage. It's just, wear and tear. So I don't know. I'm looking at this to see if under miscellaneous or something, where maybe that could potentially be worked in a little bit.
What type of like annual costs are we looking at for maintenance? Because from what I remember us talking about last year is we cut a check, I want to say for like 500 or something, and that was it. Like we were wiping our hands clean because we said that, Brittany, am I right that we were saying that like IT or something should be responsible for radio?
Yeah, and I don't remember. It's been a
That,
crazy
that,
week.
that does sound right there. I believe we kind of came to an agreement to throw some money and then just kind of be the end of that conversation. But I'll go back. I've got a folder. I don't know if it's at my old house or if I have it here. But it does have meeting minutes in it. I mean, I can go back and look. And of course, we have all those other meetings are recorded on our YouTube page, so we can go back and look at that as well.
Yeah, I do remember, which is why I'm bringing it up again. And so I guess I want to make sure that like IT will not encumber the cost of radios. And for me to look at the school budget and to justify working radios in every classroom on campus, and then the upkeep of it, I'm really limited with it when we have intercom systems in every room, when we have Silox that is on every computer. So it's not the norm in this district to have radios in every classroom. And so it's I would have to look at, for our internal budget, adjusting like what the teachers get at the beginning of the year. And I don't want to do that because there's not a whole lot to go around anyway. And so it would just, there would just have to be some tough decisions made in terms of something would have to give to continue with the usage at the level it's at, or we'd have to look at bringing it down to like one radio a quad, or 2 radios for the playground and 2 in the cafeteria or something like that. It would just have to be kind of a phasing out as they break or need repair.
So I think that the question is it a justifiable expense for us to maintain it each year? What is the usage on a daily basis in each quad? Could some quads eliminate what they're using if they're not using it because they have intercom systems?
Sure.
Well,
and the teachers can chime in, but during the instructional day, their radios should be off except when they're transitioning or when they're going outside, away from their Silox system and away from their intercom in their classroom. But the radios get used far more than our Silox system or our intercom system, just because they're handy, they're right there. But it should be used for essential communication at all times. But it's a way to locate students if they're out on the playground or transitioning throughout campus for early checkout or for one reason or another.
Right. I think that
it's also used at car pickup and that sort of thing too. I mean, I don't know how. I agree with you. I don't know how you would be able to do the car pickup, which is already crazy, without having, those.
I mean, I think that if we're talking about an expense of like $500 a year maintenance, I think it's something that we could definitely carry.
Right.
But I think if we're talking like $1,000, a couple thousand, then it's something that we need to really consider.
Mm-hmm. No, I think in the range of 500 to 1,000 a year um, is appropriate and would be enough to maintain the level of use that's currently being provided on campus right now.
And Lindsay, if you can explain to everybody listening why, so, because there's a lot of people probably like, you got the money, why can't you just do it? Can you kind of give an explanation to them so they understand? Because we got this big budget saying like, you know, field trip $1,000, so then why can't we just give them $1,000 if we're not going to go on a field trip this year? You see what I mean?
So the purpose of PTA funds is to use the money best for all students, not just for like one specific targeted item or person. So that, and also you don't want, we're not here to fund something that the district should be funding. We're not the bank for the school. We're technically a separate entity from the school. We are a 501c3 nonprofit separate from the school. So it's our responsibility to ensure that we're spending the money on advocating for the students, making sure that they have additional learning resources outside of what the district can provide, or opportunities for students that the district can't provide, things like that. But I mean, I think that the walkie-talkies are, I think it would be a justifiable expense if it was something small like $500 a year, considering it is used school-wide. It could be used for if there was some sort of medical emergency, let's say out on one of the playgrounds where there's no intercom system. So I think that we could say that, yes, that is something that the PTA could cover if the district is not willing to. Because we are fortunate that we have more money than most of the PTAs in our county.
Which is true, but eventually, if we keep spending, that money is going to get depleted. Unless
Well,
we can.
we spend wisely, but we also make sure that we fundraise properly, and not all, they only fundraise when they need to, is what some of them do when we do a continuous cycle.
Okay, so we've got two different things going on here. So let's knock out the first one. Is this going to be our final budget? And understand these numbers are going to change probably dramatically over the course of a year. Is this what we're going to vote on?
Well, I think that what Ms. Floyd is saying is that field trip assistance at $1,000 is not necessary.
Right.
Okay,
you know,
let's take that out completely, right?
Do you think it should be removed completely or drop down to like 250? So you still have them, or?
I think 250, 300 is more than enough for this year.
Okay. So let's
are we gonna put in a light item for 500?
I don't know if we need to vote on it or if we can just all say we go ahead and agree.
I think that if you add it to the budget, then that would be, if you're including it in the budget, then you're including it in what you're going to be moving forth with.
Okay, so I don't know if we need to make a motion, but what I'm gonna propose is that we add it for this budget, go ahead and add the $500 for maintenance. And then we will revisit that conversation either later on, or we'll just do it once a year.
Are we saying 500?
I'm waiting for you guys to say okay or no.
Oh, 750. What are we doing?
Ms. Floyd, is $500 going to be good, or do you need more? If you need more, tell us.
Without having the reports at my fingertips for the cost last year or previous years, like I said, like I'm going to have to shift things to compensate. So if that's $500 less I have to shift, then that's more that we can use on something else. So I think I'm fine with that.
Lindsay, take that to 750 and let's knock the shirt budget. Or actually, wait a minute, not the shirt budget.
I think this can go down.
Yeah, knock that down to like, yeah, that looks good. Because we probably won't even need that much. Okay. Shirts, I'm not even sure if we're gonna get to this year, so, but it's in the budget, so that's good.
Right. And
Now,
what we do is, so we should be doing a mid-year evaluation of this and we revote on items. So if you relook and we look at November, December, and we say, okay, we need to throw an additional 250 on that line item, that's something that we can do.
okay. Teacher grants. Is that what we're gonna kind of start with, or no?
I mean, that is kind of fitting to what the standard
Okay,
and in the budget, but we have not been spending that. But
okay,
we,
okay.
yeah.
All right, that looks good to me. So if somebody wants to go ahead and, or is there any discussion? Well, let's go ahead and do
So
the, go ahead
first
and do.
we make the motion and
Yes,
then
and
we
then
have the
discussion.
discussion is really how it should have gone.
That's literally what I was about to say. So
Oh,
if somebody
okay.
wants to, yeah. If somebody
I'll
wants
make a motion to accept the 21-22 Irby PTA budget as posted on the screen in front of me.
Okay,
And Gary, can you look at the screen because I can't see why I'm sharing or somebody?
I mean, it's the budget. I'll second the motion.
I know, but can everybody see? Can you see the votes? Are the people agreeing?
Wait a
So
minute.
now, Gary, you would say, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed, say nay, is the way it goes.
Yes, Robert's rules. I'm well aware. I just want, she was saying something about the screen, so that's kind of what I'm caught up in. What do you mean see votes?
Yeah, when they say aye and stuff, like if they're raising their hand.
Okay, well, so I see your screen and I see the four of us. That's all I see. All right, anyway, any discussion on the motion, about the motion on the floor about our budget?
I'll stop it so you can see.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I
Anybody opposed, say nay, like a horse. Nay. All right, our budget for the 2021-22 school year has been presented and accepted.
Okay. I think that's it, right?
Fantastic. We'll give the parents one more shot here. If there's any parents that want to ask a question, or if you have anything for us or the teachers or for Ms. Floyd. All right, any of our wonderful teachers have anything for us? Hang on, I know this is brought, uh-oh, hang on, yeah, typing fast.
Yeah.
You want me to read?
I
Can you
got
see?
you.
Hey, Bree.
Last year, scheduled PCA meetings on nights, there isn't school board meetings. That'd be great. Well, the school board meetings, we all know are gonna last like 7 hours and well into the night. So the plan, I mean, we've always kind of done the Tuesday thing. The initial plan before everything got kind of shut down again was to have different meetings. Possibly have a meeting on a Saturday morning, maybe have a morning meeting or something like that. We're gonna have to stick to Zoom for the time being. Now, can it be on another night? Possibly. I mean, we'll discuss that, and maybe the next meeting we'll do on a Monday or Wednesday.
I
'cause
think
know a lot of
Wednesdays
people-
you would have to avoid because some people have church on Wednesdays.
Yeah, and that was kind of why we decided to do that. Let's see, committee for book fairs, yes. So to answer your question, we'll see about maybe doing a meeting that's not on the Tuesday when the school board meeting is. Our meetings, I typically don't want to be on for an hour, hour and a half, anything like that. We try to scoot through them as quick as we can. Being the first one of the year, obviously, we have stuff to talk about and get knocked out. But we'll see about that. Our book fair, Miss Bellamy did an amazing job last year with our book fair. And I don't know, see, we can get a committee together. Ms. Bellamy, just get with me. I'll help out with that and we'll put that information out. It looks like we have December and in April.
So Gary and Tanya, this maybe, or Miss Floyd, this may be for you, a question for you. For the book fair, do you want that to be an Irby event or do you want that to be a PTA event? Because last year it kind of turned into an Irby event.
Do we
Correct.
normally? Yeah, so we had a couple events that turned into Irby events, just because of logistics and us being able to go in there and, we say, hey, you guys take this one. Is it typically a PTA event?
Not in other schools.
Okay.
Not at other schools. And my first year at Irby, the way I perceived it was that it was the fundraising for book fair was going through to PTA, but it was really handled more kind of like an Irby event. And so that's why, like last year, I was grateful Miss Bellamy took the reins and really worked to make it a huge success. And so I think if we could tap into our resources via PTA, just as we would through SAC and any other organizations that would be willing to help out and support and volunteer in maybe a way that's not as what we would traditionally consider to volunteer. I don't want to speak for Miss Bellamy, but I think she's excited to spearhead it again. And it doesn't matter to me, but it's not usually like a PTA thing that's been done. I think when Ms. Cook was here, I think that that was kind of how it was done, and I wasn't a part of the initial conversation why it went like that, but I think we were trying to set it back as an Irby event.
Personally, I think we have enough fundraising events through the traditional PTA that handing out the book fairs should not be a big deal. As far as getting help, of course, anything that you need, I'll email out. And we'll cross that bridge. We obviously for December, nothing is probably going to change, but maybe come spring, that may be a different story. We never know. But yeah, I'll be more than happy to do that. So book fair, Brittany, Lindsay, if you guys are okay with it, we'll go ahead and pass that on to the school. We'll help out where need be.
I'm fine.
Okay. Because I'd like to focus on the fun run and the dance fit and the Christmas store. I think are three big ones we can do. I'd like to start the bedtime story thing up again if we can get enough help to get people scheduled. So teachers, parents, business owners, and this is why I'm trying to hammer it really hard. You don't have to have a child in Irby Elementary to be a part of our PTA. Right now, I don't have a child in Irby because unfortunately we had to relocate. I don't know if you heard my wife. She's just yelled, "We miss Irby." And you guys be thankful for how you pick up those children in the afternoon, because right up the road here, this new school, and I'm talking, there are 3 elementary schools within a 5-mile radius, not including the high school, middle school. I've sat there for a long time. So be grateful to the teachers and staff that are out there getting your children into your cars. because your way is nothing like what I'm experiencing now. So from the past, anytime I've ever been frustrated, I'm never frustrated, but you know, if I've seemed a little frustrated, I do apologize and thank you. It's crazy. So back to the bedtime stories. I'd like to do that again. Teachers, oh no, I'm sorry. Let me go back again. You don't have to have a student in the school to be able to support the school, support the PTA. So friends, family, businesses, those are, you know, we want to target those people. We want to get as much hands in the pot as we can. We want to have as many people attend these meetings as we can. And we want to have as much money as we can so that we can accomplish the things that we want to accomplish and more. So I know there's a school board meeting still going on. I know you guys want to get into it. So does anybody have anything else that they would like to share, talk about, anything before we head out for the evening? All right. It is 7:23 p.m. I'm gonna throw a motion to end our first meeting. Heather had a question. Who's Heather?
It went up to me.
I don't know what that means. As far as businesses, do you hang banners for all sponsorship? So, you know, I don't think we've ever done that before. What is Miss Floyd? Do you know what the logistics are on banners at the school? I mean, I don't know where they would really be hung, but banners for businesses.
I think there are a lot of depends. For example, what type of business is it? What kind of service or product do they provide? What audience are they advertising to? Like, for example, the district has a contract with a certain drink company. And so I feel fairly confident that if it were a competitor drink company, that would not be something that would be allowable. So I know that at my previous school, there were some very big donors for to PTA with the implementation of a new playground. And so there was some signage and a plaque and some things like that to recognize that level of sponsorship. So I don't think it's a hard no, but there's some things that would have to be considered.
So what I would say is that if you have a business that would like to get involved, or you know somebody's got a business like to get involved, get them in contact with me. I'm going to type my phone number in the chat, and then.
And I think it's different too, because Irby Elementary, the school, has certain guidelines we have to follow by, and then PTA has their own set of marching rules as well. So it would depend if it was like a PTA event versus an Irby event, for example.
Correct. And when I talk about businesses getting involved with the PTA, I'm talking like either donating services, depending on what kind of business it is. A restaurant, you know, we do our teacher appreciation. But we also have our yearbook, which is, you know, this is a way for us to raise funds by putting advertisements. Now, if you have something bigger, you know, again, just get in contact with myself or Ms. Floyd. We'll hammer out, and then we can figure out what's what. So thank you. That was a really good question. Anybody else? All right. 7:26 p.m. I propose that we end our meeting for this evening.
Second
So
that.
moved.
Excellent. Again, everybody, thank you so much. We'll send an email out letting you know when the next meeting is. For those of you that need to jump on the other meeting, go ahead and go. Everybody, have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.